The Global Herbicide Resistance Challenge was also the venue for another important event, the launch of WeedSmart, a unique initiative to promote the sustainable use of herbicides in agriculture.
WeedSmart draws on the best minds in weed control to help Australian growers fight resistance and maintain productivity.
If you wanted to get noticed by the right people, an international conference focused on herbicide resistance was the ideal place to launch WeedSmart. While it's a whole kit of weed management tools, such as videos and fact sheets, it makes smart use of mobile technology.
The WeedSmart toolkit includes an app for iPhone, iPad and the web.
Now, out in the paddock or in the ute, it will be possible to determine if a landholder is risking the build-up of a herbicide-resistant weed population simply by answering a handful of questions online. Based on those answers about your farming system, the program will assess how well you've managed the weed seed bank and calculate the risk of herbicide resistance.
Hello everyone, my name's Stephen Hole. I'm the grower that you saw in the video there, and
Stephen Hole is not only a grain grower, he's also the independent chairman of the group of research partners, agricultural advisors, chemical companies and agencies, including GRDC, that make up the WeedSmart initiative. Industry experts from organisations such as these reviewed and evaluated the app that Dr. Hole sees as the type of leading-edge technology needed to meet this massive challenge.
you'll see the people behind me at the conference here. This has really been an international conference, and a lot of the people from overseas have actually come up to me afterwards and said this is a really fantastic idea. It's something that to have the whole industry together and communicating a standard common message is something really powerful that they're keen to emulate overseas as well. So it's something unique, and we're trying it here in Australia first.
The video used to introduce WeedSmart to the delegates brought home those messages.
Herbicide resistance, I believe, is the greatest threat that we have in Australian cereal production systems and probably around the world.
Michael Walsh was a keynote speaker at the conference and is a leading authority on integrated weed management and herbicide resistance.
And recently, I learnt quite clearly just what the herbicide resistance problem is, how it occurred. I was reading a student's literature review and I came across a sentence that seemed to sum it up quite clearly. And the sentence was, prior to the introduction of herbicides into Australia, there were no known cases of herbicide-resistant weeds.
On a more serious note, the speaker went on to discuss capturing weed seeds at harvest as part of an integrated approach to weed management, a key message of the WeedSmart initiative with application beyond Australian farms.
Glyphosate resistance is just a major problem in North America, and in part it's a major problem because they're trying to beat it with chemistry. And we've learnt in Australia that you don't actually fix herbicide resistance with just chemistry. We need it because we've got an no-till system, so we have to have chemistry in there, but we have to have something else. And I think that Mike Walsh's talk about seed management at the end of the season really highlighted that, the value of those techniques.
Providing information on technologies such as weed seed capture, resource and training links and contacts, and a goal to implement change on farm is only the beginning of what those behind WeedSmart want to achieve.
We'll have media releases planned throughout the year, and they'll be timed to be appropriate for when advisors and growers need to make key decisions when they can implement the right technology at the right time. So you'll see that over the next 12 months. And in addition, we've already started to talk about Phase 2 or Chapter 2, what we really need to do for WeedSmart to move this forward.
You can also download from GRDC's website or the iTunes store a driving agronomy interview on WeedSmart.